Welcome back to NYSE TV Live, everyone. I'm Kristen Scholler here at the New York Stock Exchange. Well, earlier this morning, NYSE listed digital finance company Ally rang the opening bell. And Ally, like many online banks, does tend to offer higher annual percentage yields, or APYs, for its savings accounts compared to brick and mortar banks. Well, the Fed's ongoing rate cut campaign could weigh on how much interest these savings accounts accrue. Currently, Ally is offering a 3.85% APY on all of its balanced tiers. Well, joining me now with more, Jennifer Streak. She's a senior personal finance reporter for Business Insider. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining. Of course, a great time of the year to talk about finances with the new year approaching. What do you find attractive about some of these online banks for consumers?
Well, I actually have my own online bank account, and I think that consumers will find them attractive because they do have higher interest rates. They're easier to secure. They have great online access, which means that you can access your account any time of day or night, move money, make deposits, withdrawals, if that's something that you need to do. So I think it's a very attractive time right now for consumers to look at online banking.
What does it mean that there may not be a brick and mortar presence? If they strictly have an online bank, what do our viewers need to know about that missing brick and mortar element?
Well, what's going to be missing is in-person customer service. You're not going to be able to go inside a bank if you have a problem. If there's a problem with a deposit, if you made a withdrawal or paid a bill online and you still haven't seen it post yet, you're not going to be able to go to the bank and sit down with a banker and have that problem resolved. It's all probably going to be online or at least over the phone.
Well, we talk so much about the Fed, Jennifer, and of course the jobs data that we'll get this week certainly will inform the Fed's next decision in mid-December. But as the Fed adjusts its rates, that does impact the rate that people can get on savings accounts and other products when it comes to digital banking. What might lower Fed rates mean for your personal investing strategy if you do have money parked at one of these digital banks?
Well, it certainly won't be a time to panic. It will be time to look at your allocations and make sure that you are putting your money in the best spaces, in the right vehicles for your savings and investing strategy. You may have to move some things around depending on what your monetary goals are.
Interesting. Of course, you mentioned diversification, allocation. Those are so important. So let's talk through some of the options. CDs, high yield savings accounts, money markets. How should our viewers navigate between these different allocation options?
Well, the way that I do it, my high yield savings account houses my emergency fund. And so an emergency fund, you have in case of emergencies, it's 3 to 6, 9, maybe even a year of expenses. My CD, I have that. That's more of a long-term saving strategy because when you have a certificate of deposit, you lock in that rate, but you also lock in your funds for a specific period of time. So once you invest in a CD, you can't just withdraw that money without significant penalty. Then there's a money market account, which will also give you a higher interest rate, and you will have greater and easier access to your funds. So depending on what your monetary goals are in terms of how long you want to save, that is going to dictate which one of those financial vehicles you employ.
Now, as we approach the end of the year, Jennifer, and a new administration is set to take office in January. What do you think are the financial do's and don'ts that people need to look at as January approaches?
Well, I think the first thing is that we have to look at allocation and diversification, which we discussed earlier. Don't just sit and do nothing. Really look and see if there are any new financial policies that are coming down the pike, how that is going to impact your savings and investing strategy. I would also advise to look at credit card debt if you are in any credit card debt and try to devise a plan to get out of that. I would also think about saving more money.
Interesting. Now, of course, we saw Americans spend a record amount of money online during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. What do they need to be aware of when it comes to navigating credit card balances and fees this holiday season?
Well, be aware that that bill is going to be coming in January. And so you should take stock of that now while you are spending for the holiday season. Pay attention to your interest rate. Pay attention to what points or miles or any sort of advantages that you are going to get perhaps with the credit card that you are using, and make sure that it is advantageous. Also, budget and pay attention to how you're spending your money this holiday season. The holiday season is a great time to sort of lose sight sometimes of our financial goals and strategies and really get caught up in the holiday season. So I would tell everyone sort of easy does it, and let's have an eye towards January.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because especially for all of us who are, online on our digital phones all the time, we are just getting inundated with deals, and that FOMO element certainly can pop up. Jennifer, with stocks, the major indexes at record highs, you're talking about allocations. How should our viewers consider stocks as part of their allocations?
I think that with any investing in stock, you have to understand whether or not it's the right move for you. I always ask people that are interested in investing in the stock market, do you have everything else in place first? Do you have your emergency fund? Do you have a long-term savings strategy? Are you fully invested in your retirement accounts before you say, I'm going to invest in the stock market? And then when you do decide to invest in the stock market, what is your goal with that? Are you going to be more of a long-term investor, or is this a short-term invest? And can you afford to see the ups and downs that come with investing in the stock market?
Jennifer Streak, Senior Personal Finance Reporter for Business Insider. Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you.